7:01, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Does anyone want to remove items from the consent agenda? Joy?
No, thank you.
No.
Judy? Keith?
You know, there was one I wanted to ask about, one check, and now I've forgotten which one it is. So when I go back through them, I'll remember. So may we discuss that? This is the expenditures,
The cash disbursements?
the cash disbursements, yes.
So
Okay.
that's 7C, no, 7A.
7A, okay.
Allowing me to be so informal about it. That's the one.
Okay. Danny?
No, thank you.
All right. And I don't have anything either. All right. Could I have a motion to approve the order of items for the regular and consent agenda?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. I just have a very brief report. It's not really a report, maybe a comment. And I'm not removing this from the consent agenda, but an observation on 7C, our natural gas bill was significantly higher. And we hear a lot about people struggling with their utility bills, and I think from what I hear, it will only get worse in terms of utility bills. So I think that the library will have to expect to pay higher utility bills along with everyone else in the United States. It's just an observation. And the way the weather has turned quickly to be not so pleasant in the last day, I think that's what will happen. So now I'll turn the meeting to Tara for her report.
Thank you. Well, this week is National Friends of the Library Week, and we have a special celebration planned for them. Well, Danny has a special celebration planned for them tomorrow morning. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure. Well, this is a national special week. So Friends of the Library organizations all over the country are celebrating, and it's really a chance for us to celebrate them and the work that they do for our library. Tomorrow is their day to be sorting in their space downstairs. And so I'm gonna come in the morning and just kind of put out a spread of treats and snacks for them to
Very
enjoy while they are down there. And I have a card for us to pass around for the board to write just a little thank you so that we can present that to them as well. And so that is kind of what I am doing on behalf of the board. But there's more that the library is doing.
We also have a card, a poster actually, that staff have been signing for the last few days. And we put poster in the lobby, and we've had some social media posts as well, talking about all the great things that the Friends do. And I'll join Danny in thanking them tomorrow morning.
And it's also an opportunity for us and the library to highlight some of what the Friends organization does for our library. Probably a lot of people don't know. And it's also a great chance to let people know why they're donating their books and why we're asking them to come to the Friends sales, the Saturday sales and things like that. So so you may have seen in the lobby there's a poster up that tells a little bit about some of the programs that the Friends support and fund, and it's just a great chance to celebrate them.
Danny, quick question. I forget, when were they formed, and has anyone ever done a cumulative total of what they've given to the library?
Oh, that's a great
I
question.
think they were formed the year after the library was born, so 1965. 65.
Oh, 65, okay.
Yeah.
And then, but I'd just be curious, because I bet you it's in the millions.
Oh.
Yeah,
I mean, and that would be kind of a nice highlight if they could figure that out.
I remember in 2014 or 2015 when we were celebrating their 50th anniversary, it was like 1.7 million
Okay.
around there, so it's probably
Closer to 2.
Yeah.
closer to 2.
Yeah.
Because I think even just recognizing that,
They're doing a,
yeah,
great job for
Yeah.
us lately, especially, through some of the pandemic
Sure.
and having to stop taking donations
Yeah.
and to, postpone sales for a bit.
right. And just their
And
sheer
then get
energy.
really flooded with donations
Yes,
when
that's the thing, and it really
Not-
hasn't
not
slowed
just-
down.
not just did, the world kind of open up again, but then people used a lot of their time at home to cull their own collections, so there was a lot.
A lot of purging going on.
Yeah,
So if you feel like signing something twice, you could also sign
Sure.
this.
yes,
Mhm.
great.
If you send that around.
Yeah,
I think
so,
that-
yep, I'll just send the card itself around.
Okay, a couple of staffing updates. Adult Services Librarian Carrie Yukon has retired. Her last day was last Thursday, so after 24 years.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Yes, so Carrie has retired. I don't know if you all know Carrie, but she was, one of her favorite things was Reader's Advisory. She was really good at giving reading recommendations, and she spearheaded the Library by Mail program and lots of other wonderful programs that we have,
Wow.
so
Good for her.
she will be missed. And we have a resolution that we prepared and presented to Carrie last week, and Joan would like to read that now.
We will definitely miss her smiling face. She was a wonderful librarian. She is a wonderful librarian in the present tense. Okay, Bloomfield Township Public Library Resolution. Whereas Carrie Yukon has served as an adult services librarian at Bloomfield Township Public Library since 1998, providing periodicals and reference service, developing large areas of the adult services print collection, including fiction and new books, as well as curating the local history displays. And whereas she helped establish many recurring programs, including coffee and conversation, memoir writers, 30-minute lunchtime book club, and craft programs at the Senior Center's Friendship Club. And whereas Carrie has enthusiastically supported senior citizens, particularly by establishing and running the Library by Mail program. She co-created the Vitality Kit collection and co-authored a grant from the Community Foundation of Southeast Michigan to support it. And whereas her handling of database selection, evaluation, and renewal, as well as promotion through the database of the month, while serving as the library's representative to MetroNet, has resulted in comprehensive resources for the community. Now therefore, let it be resolved, the Bloomfield Township Public Library Board of Trustees commends Carrie Yukon for her 24 years of excellent customer support in person, over the phone, and online, and for developing strong relationships with many library users. Heartfelt gratitude to her for her admirable library service to the Bloomfield Township community.
Oh, that was lovely.
That's very nice, yes.
Lovely. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So many,
I know, my
lovely,
gosh.
so many things.
Jeez.
Yes, and I love the senior support.
Yes,
That was great.
She will be missed.
she was.
Yes, she will.
Hopefully she'll come to the party in December. That's right.
I wanted to update you on the search for a new facility services department head. We have 3 interviews scheduled for November 3rd. Keith is going to assist Catherine and I on those interviews.
Thank you,
Thank you
Keith,
so
of
much for
course.
that.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm excited by the next board meeting, we should have a new person, so I'm excited about that.
Well, and the onus has been on your shoulders for so many months now,
Yeah.
so it's a good thing and it'll,
I've learned a lot.
yes, I'm sure you have, but still nonetheless, it'll give you some free time to at
Yeah.
least do some of the projects that I know you want to do,
Yes,
so.
How was the basement after today's rain?
Oh, it's fine. This isn't the rain that,
Oh,
You
yeah.
need
You need
heavy.
like pelting?
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, I wanted to ask you, I'm sorry, I should have written an email to you. You had culled the list down from about 11 people down to 3 through telephone interviews. And I was wondering what criteria you had used to do that culling. If you get a chance, and you could just write down a few notes.
Oh, sure.
Okay, I'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Did I send you the resumes yet?
No,
No.
you did not.
I will
It's
do
going
that.
to go out
Okay.
tomorrow.
Okay, thank
That's
you.
right. I knew there was something scheduled, and
Okay.
I'll give you more information about
Okay,
how we did that.
perfect, thank you.
And then today was Toby Shango, our temporary accountant that has been here for us during our year. Today was his last day. Yeah, it was a little bit, we kind of got used to having Toby around.
Good old Tobes.
Yeah. So, but he served us capably and cheerfully, and he's trained Monica, so we feel like we're in a good spot.
Good.
Last Friday, the strategic planning team reviewed a draft outline of our strategic plan. We gave Amanda Standifer some feedback, and she's taking that back to her team, and they're going to incorporate that feedback and present a revised draft at the it'll be presented to you at the November board meeting. Before that, the strategic planning team and the leadership team will get together and review it one more time as well. So that's what I'm gonna be focusing on once I stop being facility services department head. And as you all know, because you're on this distribution list, we have shared the learning report with the ambassadors group, and we'll have a conversation with them about that next week on Tuesday. Are you all able to attend the ambassadors meeting?
Yeah.
Great, very good. I see Judy furiously looking. And then I just wanted to share a note for the newer trustees about our chamber music concerts. When I was reviewing the board packet, I noticed that we call out the chamber music concert and the dates for the board. And I thought maybe you might be curious about why that's kind of tied to administration more than other programs. This was a labor of love by our 2 previous library directors ago, Karen Carter. Her son was a musician, is a musician, and had a special relationship with U of M School of Music, Theater, and Dance, and established this concert series. The students need so many performances under their belt in their semester, and this is a great venue for them to share their performance and practice. And then our residents, of course, love it because it's wonderful music in their own backyard. They don't have to pay for parking. I know many folks who come to the concert have made a night of it. They'll say, we just had dinner at blah, 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 and now here we are at the concert. So, yeah, it's a really nice win-win. Our friends sponsor that program, and in case you were wondering what they pay for, because these are student musicians, we have to move the piano onto the stage, so we have to hire piano movers to do that. It gets tuned, and then the movers have to come back after the concert and move it, and that costs money. So that's where the outlay of money comes in. If you've never been to a chamber music concert, I highly encourage you to attend the next one. It should be great. It'll be our first one since
Yeah, I was gonna say it's been a while.
So this particular one is in addition to it, this is not chamber music.
The Ara Topazian one?
Yes.
Right, that's in addition, yeah.
Okay, terrific.
And that's all I have for my report.
Okay.
I just wanted to mention real quickly that in the comments packet, there was a really nice comment from someone about
Carrie,
about her
I
leaving.
think so, if I could read the handwriting, it
Yeah.
was difficult to read, but I believe they were talking about her retirement,
Yes,
right?
and just someone saying that,
She was
they'd be
wonderful and
yes, and they would, miss her, and that she just always, served this particular patient so well.
it was nice. I don't know if it can be put into a card or something like
I
that.
think we gave it
but-
to her, didn't we? Yeah. we
Oh,
gave it
really?
to her.
Oh, that's so nice. It was just, just special too.
Anytime there's a compliment that comes through about staff, it's shared with that staff member as well as their supervisor.
That's great.
Thank you.
Okay, great. All right, thank you, Chair. All right, could I have a motion to approve the remaining consent agenda items?
Go
No,
right
go ahead,
ahead.
no, I insist.
I so move.
I second.
There we go.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, we have call to the public
There
and
she
we have
is.
Laura.
Hello. Well, you've already hopefully seen the big news from the SOC, which is that your holiday party invitations have arrived. So kind of is this holiday party part 2 electric boogaloo? Because it is the same the same slate that we had last year, which we unfortunately had to cancel, but we're just as excited about it this year. Obviously, if you have questions or anything, please direct them to SOC, but we hope to see you all there.
We hope to see you do the electric boogaloo.
I will.
She will.
I know
I know she
many
will.
social dances.
I know you will.
So there is that, and then kind of the other thing that's been occupying SOC this month, we thought kind of going into October, we're hitting the cozy season, maybe a little harder than we thought originally. But we kind of thought about it as a wellness month. So each month, the SOC, in coordination with administration, has provided an activity for staff. So the first week, we did a nature walk where staff are encouraged to take 15 minutes out of their day, do a nature walk around the grounds. This past week was a tiny art project. We made up little kits. Lindsay faithfully filled hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tiny little peat pots. So people could do tiny art, take a break, have an art break. This week is a tea bar and snacks for staff, because you gotta get snacks in there. And then the last week we'll be setting up a calming space in meeting room 3 downstairs at the library with various activities and low lighting and chill music, along with some sensory stuff to kind of help staff take a breath and take a break and maybe learn a new strategy that they can use outside of Wellness Month. So
I love
that's what we've been up to.
Very nice.
It's great.
Always creative. Always creative ideas, that's great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Let's see, we don't have any unfinished business,
We do not.
do we? Okay. Under new business, we have a policy review, and I would like to thank our newest trustees for working on the policy committee. And I'll turn the meeting over to Tara for
Alright.
the
Thank you.
policy information.
Well, incidentally, this month our staff training topic was on the Board of Trustees. We figured folks would be getting some questions because of the election. And so we talked about this body and what your functions are. And one of the main functions is reviewing policies and setting policies. And so we were able to tie that to this action this month. So thank you for your review of all of our policies. Thank you especially to Keith and Joy for diving in and looking at those policies with fresh eyes. The policies don't change often. There are guiding principles, and so we keep them pretty steady, but want to review them every once in a while, make sure they're up to date. This year, I noticed that in the Library of Trustees bylaws, Section 2, Article 3, Section 7. It's on page 3 of the 4 pages that are included in the packet. There was a note that electronic communication could be a method of attending a board meeting. And as we know, the pandemic changed that. This used to be something that was done pretty frequently. If folks were traveling or just couldn't make it in for a meeting, they would attend by phone. And in 2020, when folks were not able to gather, this came under scrutiny and some rules were put in place to make it more accessible, make sure people were able to participate. And that ruined the fun. So now
Party's over.
the only way you can attend a meeting via electronic means is if you are serving active military duty or have a medical condition that prevents you from attending the meeting. And by that, they don't mean just that you have a cold or you don't feel well. You have to have a reason that you can't come in. So I suggested that we would add the phrase "as permitted by law" to that section. That will make it so that it's flexible if this law does change. we would still be in compliance with that, and able to flex as we go.
Good.
So if you agree, there is an action. I am happy to take any questions, and if Keith or Joy have anything they want to say about this review, please do so.
Well, the only thing I want to say is that maybe I don't know enough yet, but I thought the policies were comprehensive and seemed to cover all contingencies that I could think of, so just my comment on that. It was a very easy job to do to be on the policy committee, so.
Tara made it very easy for us, but I think you're correct. It's written in a way that it's easy enough to read and it's logical, and well, you all have done this for so many years that it's an easy process for us. So
Okay.
thank you.
All right, well, there is an action on page 27, if you agree.
Okay. Would you like to read the action?
I would be happy to if I can find my way to page 20.
Do you want me to? I'm here.
Why don't you go ahead?
Oh, okay.
I move to approve revisions to the bylaws of the Library Board of Trustees as presented.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second it since I couldn't read it.
Okay. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. The action
Great,
passes.
thank you.
All right.
Business accomplished. All right. Oh, well, I guess
Okay, and now we have bank signatories.
this is such an exciting meeting.
Yeah.
But these are really important
It
things.
is
They keep the
important.
library going.
Yeah.
All right, so bank signatories. As you know, we had a recent staff change in our finance coordinator. Sandy Bird left, Monica Gower is now our finance coordinator, and so we have to change all the signatories at the banks. And we have 5 bank accounts, 5 banks that we bank with. So we will have to do this again in a couple of months when officers of the board change. But I really wanted to get Monica established on the account, so we're
Sure.
doing it now, and then we'll just have to do it again in a
And none
couple
of these
months.
other people are on the ballot,
No,
right? So we wouldn't have to change it for
No.
them.
no. So on page 32, there is a memo from me with a list of the people who are bank signatories. And the only change is Monica at this point. Like I said, we'll have to do this again when the president, secretary, and vice president change, but I wanted to get this done now. So there's a resolution that follows, and by the end of this meeting, we'll sign that and put that on file, and then share it with the banks as required by their procedures. Luckily, we can do most of this via email, so we'll just send some emails back and forth. So if you agree, there is a motion that's needed, and I'm happy to answer any questions about this process as well, if you have any.
Okay.
Do you want me to read it, Joan?
Yes, are there any questions?
No?
All right, yes, Judy, could
I
you?
move to approve the resolution authorizing signatures, including facsimile signatures for banking services on behalf of the Bloomfield Township Public Library as presented effective October 18th, 2022.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Motion passes.
2 important pieces of business.
Yay.
Okay. All right, Keith, discussion of items removed from consent.
Normally Shane handles this kind of stuff, but since he's not here,
You felt the need.
I felt the need. I was just wondering about I hope you don't think that this is kind of picky, but
No.
there was a check to a company called LJ Rolls Refrigeration,
Mm-hmm.
and that was for the payment of past invoices, and I was just wondering what they do, and I guess that's the question. What does LJ Rolls Refrigeration do? It's funny I'm asking about this because there was a comment about the library having 2 gigantic freezers, or you know what I'm talking? And they,
Yeah.
yes,
Not related.
not related. So I was wondering if these were the freezers or something.
Our library?
There was
It
a
was part of the
Yeah.
email
The long thread on
or
the
the
Yes,
Facebook
there was a
thread.
comment about
Oh.
gigantic freezers or
Okay.
something. So I only bring that up just for fun.
It's our HVAC system.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
this company handles any mechanical repairs to our HVAC system. Siemens handles the controls part of it.
Okay.
And the reason, I wondered if anyone would notice this because it's a kind of a big amount of money and it was for past invoices, and because of the personnel changes, all the invoices were going to, I think they were going to Carol's email address or something. Some email
my
address that's, yeah. And so we had all these invoices that had piled up, and so it's taken care of now.
Okay. Did they charge a penalty because of?
They did not,
They
no.
did not. Okay.
We're an excellent customer of theirs.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Thank you.
Is there a monthly service charge?
There's not a monthly service charge.
Okay.
We just pay them as repairs come up.
As needed?
They're a really great company.
It was smart, someone thought to go on her old site to see if there's anything there, Carol.
Somehow it came to me, I can't remember what it was. I mean, I've been back and forth with them on other things. So somehow it got to me and then I
It would
said,
seem that they would have maybe brought it up and
Yeah, where is the money,
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
send it to Carol's, yeah.
Yeah, and the company, apparently, the right hand wasn't talking to the
Right.
left
Yeah.
hand.
Case.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right, you're welcome. All right, can I have a motion to approve any items removed from the consent agenda?
I so moved.
Second,
second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All right, now we're down to Judy's favorite, other.
I do have other. I have 3 others.
Oh,
I know.
no.
First off, again, I know it's the florist from Golden Walsh. Spectacular job on the fall
really
as we
nice.
enter in. Yeah, it's lovely. I actually have 2 things. They're the same subject matter, but and it's not just me, but as you know, when I went to drop some books off about 2 weeks ago, there was a man parked blocking the entrance to come in to drive through the drive-through, and he was bringing books to donate, and he was there for a good, I want to say 25 minutes. I mean, it was a long time, and he would not move his car, even though I wasn't the only person asking. And I went to the desk and I think they either called you or something, but you went out and talked with him. I'm just wondering if there's any way, I think people might be hesitant in parking in front of the dumpster thinking that that's going to block something, but actually they're blocking the way. So I parked tonight because I knew my books were overdue and I wanted them to be checked in right away. So I'm just wondering if there's any way that we can put a sign, because he was indignant. He just would not move he's donating books and this is where he's going to park. And so there were a number of us who had to, and I mean, if there is cause for people to maybe trip or something like that, but I'm just wondering if there's any way, and it's not the first time. If it was the first time, I'd say, okay, but I would say probably at least once a month when I'm in here, there's somebody parking there. And I know that they're probably hesitant parking in front of the dumpster, but if there was some way that we could do a sign. So that's the first sign. And then the second one, I think we have to go to the township, but about a month ago, I was leaving here, it was about 5:30 in the afternoon. It might have been, maybe it was a strategic plan, that's what it was. So I had to leave and my mother had a doctor's appointment. And I swear, at Timberlake to turn onto Lone Pine left, I think I was the 8th or 9th car back and we were late for the doctor. We were late for the doctor because I was gonna turn right and just go down through the neighborhood. And I'm just wondering if there's any way, if we go to the township, if they could put a sign that says, do not block Timberlake. Because if we could just get access to get out, we would be, if you have to make your left, but no one was letting anyone out and people were timid to go across, but it was very frustrating. And of course it was self-serving for me because this was an appointment that they made special compensations and my mother's not in the best of health, so I needed to get there and I couldn't. But I'm just wondering if there's any way that we could go to the township and ask them if they've ever considered that, because it really is, there's no way you can get out.
No,
We're
I
on a
understand,
dead end
yeah.
and there's no other access, and God forbid that somebody had an emergency and had to get out. They just, and I mean, people want to get home, and rightly so. But if you had a sign,
Just the don't block intersection.
yeah, don't block intersection, because they have one on Maple right by the Jersey turn for that.
Yes.
Have you
Where they
noticed
have that
nobody
urgent
paying
care
attention to
Sure.
Some of them do, but at least we have the. Yeah, I do too, and But it just frustrated me.
At least if there was a sign, you
Yeah,
might have
maybe
some
that,
people.
maybe somebody would, but every once in a while you get a good Samaritan and he or she will let you in. But this was packed and I just was so far back, I would have just, as I said, turn right, or even have like a turn right if the easement would give us the opportunity to have a right turn lane. Maybe that would stop the congestion, I don't know, it was just like these two things happened at one fell swoop and I thought, there's something that we have to do, and that day was very frustrating, not to be able to get out, so.
The Long Lake closure is not helping.
No,
Yeah,
it's
it's
not.
not.
extra
Yeah,
bad.
That's-
yeah.
It's
Absolutely,
been really
it's been crazy,
bad.
yeah, so, but this was, everyone was going, and I'm terrible with directions, but everyone was going if you're, whatever, going towards Telegraph, not coming from Telegraph.
You wanted to
this
make
way.
a right turn and
I wanted to
get
make
out,
I was,
yeah.
Trying to make a
traditionally I would
left.
have
They
done
were
left.
trying to make a left.
But I would have,
Yes.
I always go right if I can't, because I just go through one of the neighborhoods and I get right home, but this time I couldn't do either one, so. But I'm just wondering and I'm not sure who we would talk to about that, but I just like to have that considered, because this is a busy place, we have 1,000 patrons a day, and
Well, plus the people in the condos.
yeah,
How do they get out?
I don't know.
They sit and wait, it
Yeah,
sounds
I
like.
guess they
Yes.
Yeah,
It's my understanding that that's an Oakland County Road Commission,
oh,
and we've asked them this before and they have denied our request.
the same kind of sign? Oh, interesting.
But I can try again,
Well, I wonder when was the last time, because there's a whole new administration, so maybe.
right, yeah.
Yeah, if you don't mind just inquiring, I'd just be curious, because, I don't know, if an emergency vehicle had to come in here and get out,
Well, they just,
I know,
They
they go
would
around
just do
people
it,
and have a
yeah.
taser, but, yeah, so, anyway, thank you.
I'll ask again,
Okay.
but, yeah.
And that's my other,
Okay.
thank you.
This-
And Tara, did you have?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the folders, but did you have something?
I just thought we should pick up on the discussion on the blocking of your first item. Should there be some kind of action taken?
Oh,
to-
you're saying, your suggestion was a sign by the dumpster that
Yeah,
you
something
can-
that this is where you park.
There is one there.
I know, and it's just,
So
but I don't know,
what,
but maybe there's a sign that would be where you're going to the drive-through, just saying, do not park here.
I wonder if we
bring
could
books.
paint some yellow, like,
That's a good idea.
It almost
Something.
sounds like
Yeah, yeah.
Why
fire
can't
lane.
people just
yeah.
park in a parking spot? It's because they wanna,
Well, they have to go get a cart,
Okay.
he did have a cart, and they have them in the book donation room, I wanna make sure I get that right. And, so he did have a cart, but he was implacable, he was not going to move his car, and I was nice, but there was one man who was not very nice, and, that caused me to say something here, and then you went out and spoke with him as well, and he did make a nice donation, so.
But it doesn't make sense that he would be parked and blocking the,
Return.
And he
Yeah, but
he had pulled
turn.
in, he was backed in. So so his car wasn't even facing that way, it was facing, it was just very strange.
a lot of people do it. It's easy, they just pull up, get out of their car, but they don't realize that they're blocking the drive-up lane.
I don't know how they could not realize
I
that.
know.
right,
Anyway,
But we can, and we need to have some restriping done anyway, so we could ask for that, because there is a sign on the dumpster, on the doors in front of the dumpster that say delivery zone, 3 to 5 minute parking or something like that. There's a sign right next to it that says book donations. So there are some cues already that people are ignoring. Maybe painting something on that part of the pavement would prevent people from parking there.
yeah, I don't know.
this means you.
Okay, well, let's talk about the folders. Keith had requested that comments be sent ahead of time, which we can do that going forward if that's helpful.
I found it very helpful,
Okay,
yes.
we can continue to do that. And then, like I said, that just made us, Linda and I were talking about the folders in general, and if paper, I don't know, it seems like people are either pro paper or could do without it. Do we enjoy the folders?
There seems to be a very strong opinion on this, so
I'm just picking up on the body language.
We will keep the folders.
I will
It's-
slowly wean myself from it, but
It's
I'm a
it is.
tactile person and I wanna keep the paper, cause they
It is
tear them down and build strip
no-
mall, that's all they
It
do.
is no trouble at all to prepare the folders, we just wanted to make sure that they were useful to everybody.
But you're continuing the folders that have all this other information, the bookmarks and.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, the
Yeah.
personal folders. We can bring the pass around folder out,
Oh, this is staying too.
so you like getting the comments that way instead of the electronic, okay.
I will say, I don't always feel that I have the time or the ability to get through all of the pass
Right,
around.
that's what they
Yeah.
said, yeah.
Right.
Do not.
So I really liked getting it electronically, but I still think that it's valuable to have it here.
Okay,
Especially if we wanna like make reference to something.
true.
But and then of course, you know, I with my environmentalist hat on, I don't like extra paper, but for me, when things are like kind of, when you can hold them, they just seem more real. And so, you know, I like getting this.
Okay.
I think it reinforces what we may see online anyway, but I really like to see the programming, so I appreciate it because sometimes if it's online and it's not maybe an age group, I'm trying to pay attention to everything and, you know, make myself aware, but I don't mind getting the paper.
Okay,
And I
No, that's-
usually recycle the paper or redistribute it to the
Right.
departments if you give it back
Okay.
to me at the end of the meeting. I never throw it away.
Thank you.
as long as it's meaningful to you all, then we're happy to continue doing it.
Thank you.
We'll use the unused flyers to create a barrier for people to.
There'll be a barrier
Oh, there
around
you
Judy. Be like, Judy, we'll just have these little eye holes.
I think that's,
Do we wanna talk at all about the utilities? I mean, it is what it is, right? The
Yeah.
utilities.
And, you know, I mean, when it comes to the electricity, I'll say that we have been ahead of the game,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's a
So it's,
good
that,
reminder.
this even reinforces the
Good decisions.
decisions
Yeah.
made.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
and I think it was you, Danny, who brought up a few months ago about the secondary water meter. We
Mhm.
are a secondary water meter customer.
Oh, good.
I just got a letter today regarding it. I didn't quite understand it, so
Same, I got the same.
Oh, okay. I was gonna follow up with them and,
Yeah, it's a little bit confusing, but apparently the township hadn't been charging second meter customers for
something.
something.
That's what's
I
unclear.
don't know what, and now they are going to start charging for it, so
They're
I'm
not
not
gonna
sure.
make it retroactive or?
No, I can't
Thing,
imagine.
right?
No,
They
I-
didn't say
I
that.
can't imagine. But the reason that I inquired about it is because because we have such large and beautiful grounds that I wanna make sure that we aren't paying the sewer rate for the amount of
And you
water
have
that
to
we
be on
might
a sewer for a secondary.
Mm-hmm, you have
You
to have
can't-
it,
not
your
septic,
primary
Right,
has to be.
right, yes. So that's great news, it's just one more way for us to save a little money
Mhm.
and, yeah.
So we have there's a substantial increase in the water bill during the summer. We could see that in the data. So what I think you're saying is that increase would have been much, much greater if we had not been on the secondary already.
Oh, for
Apparently,
sure,
yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
yes, which is
interesting.
kind of scary to think that, you know, you're already getting the good deal, which is good, it's
Right,
just
it's
like,
the same with the electricity, right?
yeah, yeah.
What is the good deal on the electricity?
That so much of the lighting was swapped out.
Oh, that
LED.
project,
So we'll see
yes,
savings for that.
Yeah,
definitely.
so,
And this
That makes
one
a
was
huge
we
difference.
began
That's
seeing
that was bright.
savings
Oh my God.
immediately.
Yeah, that LED is incredible cost, it's like,
Mhm.
it's like 90% efficient compared to
Sure.
incandescent, it's really very significant. And I remember, we all remember, when the country was starting to switch to those incandescent bulbs and there was all this talk about Obama bulbs. when obviously it was the right thing to do. It was just.
Gosh, I've never heard that term.
I haven't either.
Yes,
That's-
my mother and God rest her soul, she was an avid Fox News watcher, and Fox was all over this Obama bulb thing, but clearly it was the right thing to do, to switch to these LED
Interesting.
bulbs, so.
Well, it gave us here at the library, the change, it made it
Absolutely.
so that we are more efficient, more energy efficient, but you know, it also speaks to our stewardship of the environment.
Oh,
Sure.
absolutely. You know what?
But it also talks about the time, even though we had, I mean, the pandemic was
Yes.
horrible, but we were able to do so many positive things. I mean, the curbside
During that time,
and the bulbs and everything, because we didn't have the population in here to do these things. So, I mean, there were some silver linings in all of this madness that we had. And you know, we're continuing with curbside, and we've got these amazing lights now, so,
Right, the workers could work
Yeah.
because nobody was in the library.
right, absolutely.
But it does really speak to your forethought of the idea,
Mhm.
It's an excellent
the financial ability to fund it
Mhm.
and to get the work done and get the products in before there were supply chain issues.
And Joy and Keith, I don't know if you know, but we were diligent, and I give credit to Tara and the team. The fluorescent lights were all recycled, so we
Yes,
didn't
I
put them in a
remember that.
dumpster, and a lot of the other, the materials were recycled, so that it was not, because we were creating something that would be environmentally friendly, we didn't wanna take what wasn't and just throw it into a landfill, so we were very pleased about that too. And that did cost a little extra, but it was well worth it, at least peace of mind, so.
but something to consider when we are looking at our capital improvements budget, that projects like that, it looks like a big number, right?
Right.
But a lot of these things are so important and pay off, and
Right, it's just that initial that people
Yep.
have to realize that initial's gonna be a big one, but over time, you know, 20 and 30 years, not even 20 years, I mean, 10 years it'll probably pay for itself, so, and that goes in a flash, so.
And we were having maintenance issues with the older lighting.
Yeah, the
But they
staff time
couldn't-
is saved.
They couldn't,
Yeah, well, even
Keep
looking at
up
the
with-
stacks, you can see the
Yeah.
books now, all the way down to the
Yeah,
ground.
the incandescent bulbs burn out much more quickly.
Yes.
So, yes.
and then there were controller issues and all other
Yeah.
issues that we were having maintenance kept replacing or they couldn't fix. So it all propelled into the LEDs, yes.
Sounds like a win-win.
Mhm.
Okay, does anyone have any other?
nope, just a thank you for signing the card and
Well, thank you, Danny,
Yes, for doing
for
that.
And for doing that tomorrow.
coordinating
Yeah.
and also purchasing the snacks for
oh yeah, and
friends. We all appreciate that.
I'll report back with all their smiles
And if Eve is there, tell her that showcase is phenomenal, I dropped her a note. I don't know if you've seen her paper folding.
oh yeah, it's incredible.
Oh my gosh, so if she's at the meeting by any chance, please pass along, I mean.
What are you talking about?
In the
Oh.
display cabinets,
Yes.
she's
In
a
the
friend
Yeah.
and she does folding paper.
Like origami.
And, well, sort of, but it's, no, she takes books and she folds them into like dress designs and it's, before you leave today, go take a look.
Yeah.
Just, and she's done a lot for Cranbrook, but she's just so talented, oh my gosh, when I knew, before I even saw her name, I was like, that's Eve. I mean, she's just has a signature about her, so we have a lot of talented people like Lyndon over there too, so you should do a display case. Yes.
No pressure.
Still need some, we'll talk about it.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
All
one
right.
thing I just wanted to quickly mention, and I should have put, I wish I had put a note in, but I don't know this young man's name. I came to the library the other day because I needed to print something out that I only had in a electronic version on my phone. And I didn't realize the library could do that, but then I found out I could do that. But there was this very nice young man working back in the computer area, and he just walked me through this whole process. And I wanted to get his name because I wanted to, just put some kind of a note in about it, but then he ran off to do something else, so I didn't get a chance. So that was a very nice experience.
Great,
So,
good.
because that's the first time I had ever done that, because I had a printer Of course, the home printer broke, which what they always do.
Right when
And
you
I
need
just
it.
said to my wife, you know, we are simply not buying another one of these stupid printers. So came to the library and did that, so.
Very nice.
Yes, it was a very
I'll pass that
positive
on.
experience.
Okay,
So.
very good. All right, well, I will adjourn our meeting at 7:46.
All right,
Thank
thank you, everybody.
Thank you, see you next week.